St Clair Gardens feels like home to me. I enjoy playing board games with staff and other residents, and I enjoy cooking sessions and activities like the autism group.
I'm Tanya Miller and I've been working with Mind for 9 years, and I'm currently Senior Operations Manager overseeing St Clair Gardens. St Clair Gardens is a 24-hour recovery centre. We have a multidisciplinary team here with nurses, recovery support workers, an occupational therapist.
There are really good staff here, and I feel listened to when I'm discussing my future.
We first realised that there was a need for a city-based recovery provision probably about 4 years ago, and we worked with commissioners to develop the right model, the right multidisciplinary therapeutic model that would meet the needs of Coventry. And by providing a 24-hour recovery centre, we could bring people back from out of area where they could continue their recovery journey here in Coventry, as well as those that were in hospital could step down to a unit within Coventry where they're still able to maintain their family and community links, which is so important to recovery. The person who would benefit is somebody that's perhaps been in hospital, who requires rehabilitation and recovery, but who is not ready yet to move into independent living within their own accommodation out in the community. And they require a therapeutic environment where they can work on their recovery journey and then work towards independence and moving into their own accommodation. It could be somebody that's in hospital or somebody that's come from a secure unit who is now ready to move into a rehabilitation centre such as St Clair Gardens. They would typically have quite high-level mental health needs. They may also have some physical health needs, for example, diabetes management and other physical health needs, because obviously within St Clair Gardens we have nurses, mental health nurses, who can help them maintain their physical health needs as well. Typically, someone would stay around 6 months. This can be sooner. We've had people leave within 3 months and move on towards independence. And often that can be longer if somebody has perhaps moved from a secure hospital environment and has been there for a number of years, then their journey may be a little bit longer in order before they move on towards their own independent living. There is a real need for this type of provision within Coventry, and what we typically find that is we simply don't have the capacity to meet the demand, particularly over the winter months, but even long term, and which means that people either remain in hospital, thus blocking the beds, or they are sent far out of city. And it is a real issue within Coventry that more is needed. More beds of this type of rehabilitation, recovery type nature is needed. If somebody is in hospital and can't get into St Clair Gardens, they will either reside in hospital, which a hospital environment is not conducive to mental health recovery. We know that, and commissioners know that. So their recovery journey is hampered, and typically what we find is they may be discharged from hospital, but they will go back into hospital. So they will be what we call revolving door clients. So they're going back into hospital, whereas they could come to St Clair Gardens and really progress and move towards independence.
So I'm Jo and I'm the manager here at St Clair Gardens. St Clair Gardens is a recovery unit for people stepping down from hospital, and we're helping them get back into the community. So here at St Clair Gardens, everyone's journey is very individual, and that can be we've had some residents that just needed some help with some life skills. That could be their cooking and cleaning. We've helped people with their education side to get back into college. For some people, it's just for self-confidence, to help them get into a medication routine. We have 14 bedrooms that are all very spacious with their own double beds and their own bathrooms. We have a mixture of communal and private spaces throughout the building for our residents to use. We have a beautiful, spacious garden that is for use for the residents all year round. We have 2 arts and crafts studios here at St Clair Gardens, which gets a lot of use. We also have private areas for residents to meet with their families or with members of their care team or to spend time by themselves.
I have a good key worker who listens to me and a nurse who supports me with my mental health.
So here at St Clair's, we have our nurses, our support workers, we have an in-house OT, and we also use an outside psychology team who provide support both to our staff and our residents with case formulations and can also provide one-to-one support for our residents.
My name's Danny. I'm the occupational therapist at St Clair Gardens with Coventry Warwickshire Mind. An occupational therapist's main goal is to enable people to live a full, meaningful and productive life and recover in the best way that they feel they want to. So residents at St Clair Gardens have an occupational therapy plan which we devise with the resident, not for the resident, based on what they want to do, their interests, how they feel, what they feel they're capable of, their skill set. It's a holistic assessment and we take into account everything in that person's life. So one lady I'm thinking of is a lady in her 50s, and we found that her passion was giving to other people. That's what she found made her happy. So she also loved baking, so we decided to bake, and she was baking cakes for all the other residents. She was individualising them with their initials on, and just seeing her face as she handed the residents these cupcakes with their initials on and hearing that feedback of how tasty they were, and she really appreciated it. She appreciated the time that staff spent with her in the kitchen teaching her how to bake, so she'd gained skills, but she also gained that kind of tangible happiness from what she was doing.
Hello, my name is Victoria Hinks and my role at St Clair's is the lead nurse. It's definitely unique in itself. It's definitely different to elsewhere in the fact that we very much concentrate on a person-centred approach and everyone has their own individual timetables rather than a very structured routine that everyone is to engage with. I think our nursing here at St Clair's is very individual, so I think spending time with a resident and building a therapeutic relationship and getting to know them as an actual person and concentrating on what that person wants as their goal and their recovery rather than what somebody else assumes recovery should look like. I feel if we concentrate on each individual's recovery, it's a more successful and more rewarding process for the individual and the staff. So the type of things I would do through the day is I would be obviously spending time with the residents, having one-to-ones. I would also be working with residents to make individual plans of care for them and working towards their goals. Obviously also as a nurse we do obviously manage the medication and help individuals work towards a self-medication regime. There's lots of different things we do here at St Clair's.
This has been the most successful placement I have been in. I've felt my calmest since being here.
We have a lot of success stories and really we have people that have moved on to university, they've moved on to their own accommodation, they've not gone back into hospital, they're able to be stable and independent within the community. They've stepped down to supported accommodation or into their own accommodation, and it's wonderful to see, somebody to go on to university or get a job and just enjoy what everyone else enjoys.